The Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen. Once upon a time, under the deep blue sea, there was a kingdom ruled by a mighty sea king. He had 6 beautiful daughters, but the youngest, who was the most beautiful, was the one who captured everyone's attention. This little mermaid, with her golden hair and sparkling eyes, longed to visit the human world above the water. She would often swim up to the surface and gaze longingly at the ships and the people, dreaming of a life above the waves. One day, when she was 15 years old, the Little Mermaid was allowed to rise to the surface for the first time. As she swam up, she saw a handsome prince aboard a ship. He was laughing and talking with his crew. The Little Mermaid was enchanted by him. Just then, a fierce storm struck, and the ship capsized. The prince was thrown into the sea, and the Little Mermaid saved him, carrying him to the shore. When the prince regained consciousness, he did not see the Little Mermaid, but instead saw a young woman who found him. He thanked her and returned to his palace, though he never knew the true savior was the mermaid. The Little Mermaid was heartbroken, but she did not give up. She visited the shore often, hoping to see the prince again. The Little Mermaid went to her grandmother and asked, "Grandmother, do humans live forever? Do they live as long as we do in the sea?" Her grandmother replied, "No, dear. Humans live only for a short time. They grow old and eventually die." Despite this, the Little Mermaid yearned to become human to be with the prince. One day, she went to the sea witch for help. The sea witch lived in a dark and dangerous part of the sea. The Little Mermaid asked her, "I want to become human. Can you help me?" The sea witch agreed to help but warned her, "I can grant your wish, but you will have to give up your voice. You will no longer be able to sing or speak. If you fail to win the love of the prince and marry him, you will die and become sea foam." The Little Mermaid hesitated, but her love for the prince was so strong that she agreed. The sea witch made a potion that turned the mermaid's tail into human legs. As the mermaid drank the potion, she felt great pain, but soon she could stand on 2 legs. The sea witch also gave her a beautiful voice in exchange for her silence. Remember, the sea witch warned, if you don't win the prince's love, you will not be able to return to your home in the sea. The Little Mermaid went to the prince's palace, where she was welcomed by everyone. Though she could no longer speak, the prince was kind to her. He enjoyed her company and often danced with her. But despite all her efforts, he did not fall in love with her. Instead, he admired her beauty and grace, but he was still in love with the princess of another land, whom he had been promised to marry. One day, the prince told her, "I love you, but my heart belongs to the princess of the neighboring kingdom. I must marry her, for she is the one I truly love." The Little Mermaid was crushed. She knew she could never return to her underwater kingdom and could not bear the thought of the prince marrying someone else. As the wedding approached, she was filled with sorrow. On the night of the wedding, the Little Mermaid's sisters, who had heard of her sacrifice, came to the surface. They had made a deal with the sea witch to get her voice back, but in exchange, they had to give their hair. They handed the Little Mermaid a knife and told her, "If you kill the prince and let his blood fall on your feet, you will become a mermaid again and live." But the Little Mermaid could not do it. She loved the prince too much to hurt him, and she did not want to be the cause of his death. She threw the knife into the sea and, with a heavy heart, threw herself into the water, where she turned into sea foam. However, the story did not end there. Because of her great selflessness, the Little Mermaid's spirit was lifted to the skies, where she became a daughter of the air. She was told, "Because of your sacrifice, you will not die. You will have the chance to earn a human soul by doing good deeds for others." The Little Mermaid's love had transformed her, and though she did not win the prince's heart, she gained something even more valuable, the promise of eternal happiness through kindness and love.